Okay, welcome back to EAK TV. I'm delighted here to have Dr. Abdalla Kablan with us. Welcome, Abdalla.
Thank you so much for having me, and welcome to Delta Summit.
How have you found Delta Summit so far?
Wow, it's exceeded all expectations. I mean, when we embarked on this journey a couple of months ago, we genuinely wanted to put together an event that will have the world's top thought leaders, innovators, pioneers, entrepreneurs, and the biggest companies that have either decided to come to Malta or they're exploring Malta, and to bring them together to create dialogue and to stimulate exchange between them. We thought we were going to have around 1,000, 1,500. Seeing the turnout now, it's incredible. We have more than 3,800 people that have joined us here today. It's shaping up to be probably the biggest tech event that's ever happened in Malta. We are quite delighted by the response, and quite delighted to have you guys here. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, and obviously thank you for having us. So obviously with this just being the first year of Delta Summit, I mean, as you can see, it's been an unparalleled success so far. Nearly 4,000 people are here. What's your ultimate vision for Delta Summit?
Well, as I said, when we started this, we had a vision for this country that is pioneering innovation, that is spearheading, the innovative process in a new industry, for us to grow together with the growth of the country as a whole. And we want this event not only to be the annual event where people come and discuss blockchain. We wanted to discuss all disruptive technologies that are going to come in the years to follow. And our plans for us to attract even more bigger companies, more intellectually stimulating discussions. We value content quite a lot, which is why we have two stages here. Unlike many other conferences, we have the exhibition stage, which is probably the biggest stage ever assembled for a tech event here in Malta, and we have the Zest innovation stage at the Innovation Village in the room next door, which is also getting some of the world's top thought leaders to come and share their ideas, insights, and strategic foresight of what's going to happen. And next year we want to be even bigger and better.
So obviously Malta now are pioneering the way of regulatory framework in the blockchain space. How does Malta strike the right balance between protecting consumers and ensuring that innovation isn't stifled?
It's a very good question, and it's something that I'm quite glad and happy that the government of Malta, that has provided the political will and the guidance to move into regulating this space, has ensured to give the technologists a say in this process, because at the end of the day, this is unlike anything that we've ever regulated, a regulation for engineers by engineers. And the definitions of the law itself have catered for the fact that technologies are dynamic, are ever changing, and they will also adapt to whatever change is going to come in the future. So for this reason, we believe that we've struck a very good balance. As a technologist, we don't like the word regulation. You feel like you're shackled, your innovative process is being stifled, like you rightly said. But I think we also have to assume our responsibility as technologists. We need to make sure that the consumers are protected, the investors are protected, and at the same time we're ensuring the integrity. And that's why law has to come into effect. And that's why Malta, being the first country in the world to regulate this, is exciting for everyone here around us, because now the developers are quite happy because now there's more investment coming into their projects. The investors are happy because there's legal certainty and they can invest in their projects. And for us as a nation here, we're stimulating economic growth through innovation. So I think it's a win-win-win situation, and we need to keep up the momentum. Today, our Prime Minister, His Excellency Dr. Joseph Muscat, has announced that we're not going to stop at DLT. We're going to move into artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, and these are topics that are quite dear to my heart, especially artificial intelligence, which is my background. So I really think that the next couple of years are going to be interesting for us here.
And what would your message be to blockchain startups that are considering moving to Malta?
I encourage all the startups to move to Malta for all the reasons that we've stated. I mean, now that we have legal certainty, we're noticing a huge number of investors that are flocking to Malta, literally looking for projects that they can invest in, because now they'll have a rubber stamp from regulatory authorities that these projects are legitimate. At the same time, these startups are looking for places that will provide them with certain incentives. They're looking for talent because talent is still scarce, and we're noticing that talent is gravitating towards Malta now because there is investment that is about to start happening. So I believe that we have a Silicon Valley scenario forming here, and I genuinely think that within a couple of years we're going to be literally the blockchain island of the world.
Okay, great. I mean, so moving on to what you just mentioned, obviously your background is in AI. What do you see as the most interesting implementation so far of AI and blockchain?
I mean, this is a very interesting question. I mean, one of the issues with blockchains that has always been looked at as a data storage technology. However, there is now a lot of research and development going into processing data on the chain, which will open new doors for artificial intelligence to come even bigger, better, much more accurate, and it will help us move into new types of artificial intelligence that will even help us achieve artificial wisdom, not only intelligence. Because if you look at the data development life cycle, you start with data, you process data, becomes information, information becomes knowledge, knowledge becomes understanding, and understanding with time, practice and experience evolves into wisdom. So far we're still stuck into just being knowledge bases that are quite glorified, and it's not until we increase our processing capabilities we'll be able to achieve wisdom, and the difference is quite fundamental. Knowledge is knowing the difference between true and false. Wisdom is knowing the difference between right and wrong. And it's very difficult to get an AI to understand that, but now because of better processing that might happen on the chain, it's going to help us with making AI better. But also for all these intellectual thought leaders that think that AI is actually a threat to humanity, blockchain might be a solution that will safeguard us against the threat of AI, because a rogue AI will not be able to achieve consensus in the network, hence it won't be able to execute its code. So blockchain is really a good solution if implemented properly. So it's still in the theoretical phases, but I think now everything is going to merge and we're going to have some interesting developments.
Okay, so obviously you just mentioned one of the hurdles that AI is facing. You know, some people mention like ethical issues. What other hurdles do you think is faced by the development of AI at the moment?
I mean, the development of AI, as I said, like processing is an issue. The availability of data, even though we speak about the big data revolution for the past couple of years, AI needs clean data to learn. So data filtration, acquisition, and processing are still a matter of debate and also research to get the best systems possible to make sure that your data filtration models and systems are good and accurate to make the AI better. Because if you get bad data, you're going to have a bad AI. So that's one of the main hurdles. And I'm hoping that in the next couple of years this is going to be solved to make AI a bit better.
So where do you think AI and blockchain is going in 2019? Can you imagine some concrete use cases occurring?
I mean, I do. I mean, for example, take blockchain in health. Blockchain is going to disrupt health in the way we are storing medical records. AI is going to disrupt healthcare in medical diagnosis. And when you have an AI that can give you diagnosis by accessing your full health records because they're on blockchain, these are brilliant use cases of how that merge could happen. I also see that we're going to have a lot of developments on the identity front. So digital identity management is going to be quite disrupted because of blockchain technology. People will be finally able to own their data, and once you own your data, you can actually fuel any AI system of your choice to give you the feedback that you actually want, and not fuel other big mega platforms for them to actually advertise a little bit more for you. So I think thanks to blockchain, we're going to have much better digital identity management systems.
Perfect. Okay, so just going back to Malta, obviously I'm sure lots of other countries are looking at Malta with wide eyes, seeing the investment and the people that are moving to Malta and potentially thinking about doing that themselves. I know Estonia is a country which many people are interested in blockchain and growing it there. How does Malta remain the most progressive jurisdiction in blockchain? and how does it remain a global leader moving forwards over the next 5 years?
To answer this question, I'm gonna use the Red Queen principle from Alice in Wonderland, when she saw, the queen on the chessboard running on one square, and she said, "Why are you running and you're still in the same place?" She said, "It takes all this running to remain in the same place." So to remain on top, we have to keep on working. We have to keep on working very hard. Everyone is looking at this as a new innovative sector and industry that's going to stimulate economic growth all over the world. So we need to keep up the pace, and that's why we're quite happy with our Prime Minister today saying that we're looking at AI, we're going to look at IoT, we're going to look at regulating technology arrangements and services holistically, and it is a race, and we're quite happy to accept this challenge, and we look forward to be the pioneers, or as our Prime Minister says, the trailblazers in these industries.
Okay, so yesterday there was a big announcement regarding GTG Ventures and Wiser collaborating to a one-stop shop for all things blockchain. Could you tell us a bit more about that collaboration? I believe it's called Kaleido.
Yes, Kaleido was announced yesterday, and it's a collaboration between GTG, Affiliction, and Wiser AI. And it is to service this industry with one solution that will cater for all their needs. As we know, because of the new laws here in Malta, the digital innovation laws and the virtual financial assets law, we need new service providers such as VFA agents, we need system auditors. Usually law firms are very well positioned to be the VFA agents, but there is a lack when it comes to the technology side. Technology companies that actually are quite well versed with blockchain, AI, and these disruptive technologies, they can provide system auditing, but obviously they cannot be VFA agents. There's Dr. Ian Gauci, who's leading GTG, who's one of Malta's top leading legal figures, who has been quite instrumental in drafting the laws and regulations for Malta. When he suggested that we move into doing a joint collaboration, I was thrilled, honored, and actually humbled, because between himself and his brilliant team and myself and my team, I think we are going to be one of the powerhouses in Malta that will provide this new industry with all the services that they require. So we are incredibly excited about it, and we just announced yesterday, and today I've been told that there was a phenomenal reception.
So how do our viewers find out more about Kaleido?
Kaleido now is going to have some strong social media presence. We're going to have a website that's actually launching in the next day or two. So we're going to come up with some press releases to our partners here at EAK, and the word will be spread. So stay tuned.
Perfect. Okay, well, that's EAK TV. Thank you so much for your time, Abdalla. Enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you so much.